Hello guys, welcome back to another Forza Horizon 5 video. Today we're going to be driving the 1973 Volkswagen TDI. It's an old banger of a classic, and yeah, we're just going to be driving it around to see what it's like to drive. At the moment, I'm using the manual gearbox. I would love to get a manual gear shifter for cars like this Volkswagen, instead of using paddle shifters, as obviously a car like this from 1973 uses a manual gearbox, and Logitech do sell a manual shifter, so I might get that in the future for future videos. Yeah, so the Volkswagen Golf is a very cool, quirky looking car. But with just 112 horsepower, it's not exactly the quickest thing in the world. But mind you, it doesn't need to be. It's just a an old classic Golf, and because it weighs virtually nothing, it doesn't need to have such power. All right, let's try a little launch control. Although, actually, this Volkswagen wouldn't actually have launch control, but I guess every car has in Forza Horizon 5. Alright, we're going to launch the Volkswagen. It's front-wheel drive, so it's not going to be amazing. Oh, little wheel spin, first gear. Up into second gear. Third gear. And 60 miles per hour. That felt like it took at least like 10 seconds or something to hit 60. Yeah. As it's front-wheel drive, it's kind of slow getting off the line, and the gearbox is pretty dreadful. But that's not what this car is about. I wouldn't mind this car as my first daily driver. We can see what the top speed is on the highway here. 80 miles per hour. I reckon we could probably hit 100. Maybe go 90, 94, 100 miles per hour. There we go, up into fifth gear. $106 miles per hour. It's not bad, considering the amount of power this has got. That engine sound as well. Sounds quite fruity. Oh, we're losing speed, going uphill. That's where they, yeah. It's not got too much power, so going uphill might be a little bit of a struggle. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to drive to the festival, and we're going to upgrade the engine, turn this into the ultimate Forza Horizon 5 hot hatch. Alright, so we're at the festival. Let's upgrade this Golf. So, if we look at swapping the engine, we've got the stock powertrain with 112 horsepower. And then which does 0 to 60 in 8.1 seconds. But what we can do is we can swap the engine for the 1.6 litre turbo rally, which will reduce the 0 to 60 down to 6.8 seconds. So a 2-second. It's going to give us another 180 horsepower. I feel like if we could get it up to about 600 horsepower, that'd be ideal. We can add a race anti-lag turbo, which will give us another 172 horsepower. Camshaft, add a bit more power, and a restrictor plate. Can throw on some. Let's throw on some semi-slick tire compounds, which should help as well with the 0 to 60. Zero to 60 now is 5.3 seconds, down from 8 seconds, so we're 3 seconds faster than the car was before. Probably the limiting factor is probably that it's front wheel drive. I'm going to get a lot of front wheel spin. If we try adding more than like 700 horsepower, the thing's just going to spin in because it's only front wheel drive. And the gearbox. Maybe we could add. Should we add a gearbox? It looks like changing the gearbox isn't going to significantly affect the acceleration, at least the 0 to 60. Maybe it will increase. It would affect the top speed. See, if we put in a different gearbox, we can reach over 200 miles per hour. But you know what? Just go with the sport transmission. All right, so we've now got 634 horsepower, up from 112. So almost 6 times more power. Should be pretty quick now. And now we're gonna paint the car to make it look a little more like a hot hatch. So we're gonna paint it red. I always like black rims, so we're gonna make the rims black. We're trying to make this look like the ultimate badass hot hatch from the 1970s. Can't beat a good old 1970s Volkswagen GTI. We'll tint the windows black. And we're going to put on some custom rims. I think the stock rims don't look that great, so let's have a look at some custom rims. It's already looking so much better, and with that 600 brake horsepower engine, it's going to be like the ultimate hot hatch. Actually, I'm not really sure what my favourite hot hatch is. Probably Mercedes A-Class. But you know what? 1970 Volkswagen GTI is a cool car. Alright, so we've got our rims. We're just going to increase the rim size, make it look ultra badass. And you know what, we're going to throw on some, let's lower the suspension. There we go, race spring dampers. That looks super badass. Maybe, should we add chassis ring? No, that's going to add too much weight. We don't really want to add any more weight on a hot hatch. Anti-rib? No, we don't need anti-roll bars. We'll just throw on some sport brakes as well. Alright, so finished with our upgrades. Now it's time to test our 1973 upgraded. This is now the ultimate badass 1970s hot hatch. It's still only front wheel drive and the gearbox isn't exactly what you'd call rapid, but it should now do 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds, which is a solid improvement. There we go, 0 to 60, that was pretty quick. And we're already at 100 miles per hour. You know what we should have done is we should have changed the gearbox. Because with 600 horsepower it's got the potential to reach over 200 miles per hour, but the gearbox is limiting us to about 170 miles per hour. But you know what? That's a cool looking hot hatch. Let's do another launch. You know, there's actually less wheel spin than I thought. For a front wheel drive hot hatch, it gets off the line pretty well. Alright, let's do a little launch. Check out that exhaust crackle at the back as well. This would be like, imagine having one of these back in the 70s. You'd pick up all the chicks. Especially with that 600 horsepower engine. There we go. It's definitely quicker than it was before. The gearbox is a bit slow, but you know what? It's not. We're not aiming to create a hypercar. It's, you know, this is a badass classic hot hatch. And now it reaches over 180 more. See, we've only got 5 gears, so we can't reach over 180. But still, that's pretty nippy. It's pretty nippy, and it actually handles half decently. So we put on some semi-slicks. And the thing is, it's an old hatch, so it weighs virtually nothing. Alright, to finish off the video and to test the performance of this 1973 hot hatch, we're gonna compete in a race. The engine sound is awesome as well. Gotta love the sound of engines from the 70s. Too bad all these soft limiters and environmental regulations today that stop engines sounding good. 108 miles per hour. It's not too bad. $193. Looks like it's kind of maxing out at about 193.
Turn around when it is safe to do so. Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Apparently Forza Horizon 5 is now available on the PlayStation, which I never thought would happen. But, yeah. I guess that means maybe I'll get a PlayStation next time. Okay, we're going to take our Super 1983 hot hatch for a spin in this race to test the performance with our 600 brake horsepower engine and that awesome red livery. Okay, difficulty we're going to set to not unbeatable, experts. What are we going up against? We're going up against other hatchbacks, alright. Oh, not the greatest start, we've been overtaken and we're down to P10. See, the thing, getting off the line, it's not too quick, but once you're kind of above 50 miles per hour, the thing just starts accelerating. It looks super badass as well in that red colour. Super retro. Alright. I am doing manual gears, so if there are a few gear cock-ups, then that's to blame. Alright, 70% of the race completed. It may have a lot of straight line performance, but it still handles like a 1973 Volkswagen GTI. Just, we're losing time in the corners. The thing doesn't really handle that well. But you know what? It's still a cool car. Fourth place, not bad. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Give this video a like, comment and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next video.